All glory, all honor, all praise is yours. All glory, all honor, all of my praise, Lord, it's yours. All glory, all honor, all praise, ooh, Lord, it's yours. It's you who reigns forever. Put down your idols. Put them down. Let them all go. Worship the one and only God. Purify your heart. Cleansing your soul. Surrender your will now. You gotta be holy and true. And He's promised you, draw near to the Father. If you draw near, He'll draw near. He'll draw near to you. He'll draw near to you. The written testimony of Mrs. Sybil Jackson. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated sponsored the debutante ball in the city I lived in during my senior year of high school, and I was a participant. I was crowned as queen, and with that came a scholarship for college. As a result of that experience, I was a recipient of some of the good done by Alpha Kappa Alpha. As a freshman in college at an HBCU more than 30 years ago, I, along with many others, expressed my interest in the sorority. I remember having to learn about the members of the organization, their hometowns, their birth dates, the number of siblings they had, their majors, etc. We were quizzed on this information when we made our required visits to them. I can even remember the notebooks we were required to keep with a page or two for each of the ladies who were already members of the chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha at my alma mater. I don't think there is anything wrong with learning about them. I am even reminded that some grown women, who were probably ages 25 to 70, returned to their alma mater for homecoming, with one of their main reasons being to visit, or dare I say, to harass the pledgees. We were made aware that they were coming for us, so we stayed off campus until Monday morning, and many of us were shocked that many of these grown women with families, jobs, and other obligations delayed their returning trips to deal with us. I was stunned then, and still am by that. We went through a lot during the 6 or 8 weeks of the actual pledging period, all of which was emotional and mental, but no physical harm was done to us. We made it through all of that, and I became an Alpha Kappa Alpha woman. I was active during the remainder of my time as an undergraduate, but I never joined a graduate chapter, nor did I participate in harassing the pledgees while still there as an undergraduate. There were a number of things I didn't understand, but the biggest of those was the need to demean or try to break ladies they wanted to be a part of their organization and would later refer to as sisters or sorors. Much about that still baffles me. Now, some 15 or so years ago, my pastor at that time taught about sororities, fraternities, Masons, and Eastern Stars. He shared with us that he knew a pastor who would not allow his members to be officers of the church if they were members of a fraternity or a sorority. He further explained that he was not going to remove anyone from office at that time, but he did want us to learn of the origin of these organizations, to seek the Lord about the organizations, and not to take his word on the information he provided. I remember a lot of that evening as if it were yesterday. He addressed the fact that these organizations do good work and that they make a difference in the community. But he also said, you can have the same impact on people without doing so as a member of one of these organizations. He further stated that these organizations were not Christian-based and were even tied to things that were not of God when they started. One of the men in the church was also a Mason, and he shared with us that what the pastor was revealing was accurate. There were a number of questions asked and answers given that evening. Sometime between my going to bed that night and awakening the next morning, I believe God dealt with me pertaining to this matter, and as a result, I never had to do any research or struggle with what it was that I was to do. In my dream, there were two ladies who were very influential in the connectional church that I was a part of at that time. These women had a big book in my dream, which had names listed. I told them my name, and I was spelling my first name for them, which only has 5 letters. And though I spelled it several times and gave them my line number while working my neck, which I don't do in real life, they couldn't find my name. No matter what, my name was not in their book. As I was waking up and no longer dreaming, I heard the voice of the Holy Spirit clearly say, "I have removed your name, and you can put it back if you want to." That was all I needed to hear. I denounced Alpha Kappa Alpha that day, and over the next few days, I destroyed everything I possessed that was associated with that organization. When I speak of destroying, I'm not referring to relationships made, but the paraphernalia tied to Alpha Kappa Alpha had to go.